alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope that you have been refreshed by tea, coffee, or maybe Milo. And we will proceed with the next sessions. There are two interesting papers on different rules of Islamic study and Arabic studies to be presented by two scholars in the field. The first presenter is Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad Alji Ilyas on my right-hand side. Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad is a lecturer at Faculty of Economics and Muamalat and Center for Graduate Studies, University Science Islam Malaysia, or USIM. The second presenter on my left-hand side is His Excellency Professor Dr. Brahima Di Kaba. He is the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Republic of Liberia in Senegal, and the Commissioner of Land Commissions, Republic of Liberia. He is also a professor of sociology and anthropology at University of Liberia. Respected speakers, I welcome you to these sessions. And of course, I myself, Tawat Nupom, I'm a lecturer at College of Islamic Study, Prince of Songkran University, and also a PhD student at Durham University, United Kingdom. Without further delay, due to time constraint, and of course, after many people would prefer to have early lunch, so I would like to invite the first presenter, Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad Ali Ilyas, is going to talk about building the Arabic linguistic curriculum, a proposal for Malaysian University. Please welcome Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad Ali Ilyas. Falyatafadhal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanaka la illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabb bishrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'd. Shukran li Rais Jilsa. First, I would like to express my thanks to the organizers for inviting me to be here to present the paper. I would like to congratulate them for their immense success in organizing this auspicious and very significant event. I'm presenting this paper on the topic building the Arabic linguistic curriculum, a proposal for Malaysian universities on behalf of the other co-authors, especially to Associate Professor Dr. Asma Abdul Rahman, the leader of the research team. Ismi Muhammad Haji Ilyas, Ana min Malaysia, أعمل في كلية الاقتصاد والمعاملات في جامعة العلوم الإسلامية الماليزية. في نفس الوقت أنا كالعميد في مركز دراسة عليا، تخصصي غير اللغة العربية ولكن في الاقتصاد التقليدي. درسته على كل مرحلات باللغة الإنجليزية فقط. اشتراكي في هذه الكتابة لأنني أحب اللغة العربية Jib Hubban Jamma, inshallah. Objectives of teaching Arabic language has undergone a number of significant transformations. At the early stage, the objective was to understand Islam and to perform ibadah correctly. At the next stage, with the development of the Pondok system of education, Arabic has been taught with a view to understand classical Arabic texts. The communication skills were not emphasized. However, with the advent of modern secondary education and specific and imperatives of globalization, the Ministry of Education Malaysia has formulated general and specific objectives, including proficiency in the four language skills, namely listening, communication, reading, and also writing skills. The objective of teaching Arabic then was for communication. Arabic is also taught in Malaysian universities, either as selective or as core sub-requirements for degree conferment. At the same time, subjects in Islamic studies are conducted in Arabic, for example, in USIM. A major issue related to the teaching of Arabic linguistics is the observed lack of proficiency in Arabic among students. In a study conducted by Dr. Rosni Sama, he conducted a survey among students in religious secondary schools in the state of Selangor. A number of findings. First one, that the observed lack of proficiency in Arabic among students, and among the reasons found, firstly, the method of teaching was teacher-centered, students passive, they listen, they take notes, and as a result become inactive and lack of confidence. The second one, learning based on translation of text. Okay, still students teacher-centered learning. Lack of language activities. Many schools rely on language activity once a year. There's been lack of group activity, quiz, and for example, language camps. Not to mention also passive attitude of students. Lack of Arabic communication is another reason. Teaching Arabic in Malay, because the text read in Arabic, but the explanation in order to make students understand in Malay. As such, the Arabic environment is not fully developed. Okay. So this research team has carried out a study with the objective of developing a module for the teaching of Arabic linguistics for Malaysian public universities. The objective is to produce graduates who are excellent in accord with market requirements, who are competent in Arabic linguistics, and that they're able to teach others and are capable of adapting to future changes in the cultural environment. A survey was conducted using a structured questionnaire in March 2011. Around 515 respondents consisting of students from universities, the four major universities, UKM, University Bangsa Malaysia, University of Malaya, University Putra Malaysia, and International Islamic University of Malaysia, and from religious secondary schools, namely from Smart School in Cyberjaya, and also one school in Terengganu called Imtiaz. The respondents or the students were asked the question on their communication skills in Arabic, and teaching methods adopted by teachers. And the teachers were also asked on the rigor of the teaching of the language within the allocated time period. In the other session, the other hall, my friend from University of Malaya is going to present also a paper on the teaching of Arabic experience from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. And in an earlier discussion with him, I asked him what's his view about the ability of students in Arabic. Okay? And his findings, his observation, mulahazatuhu, very similar to the findings from the research done by Dr. Rusni Sama and also the research team led by Dr. Asma Abdul Rahman. So to finish up, the important finding of the research is that Arabic linguistics course needs to be divided into 5 aspects. Arabic linguistics form the basis for other courses that are taught in Arabic, because through this course, students are trained in grammar, morphology, phonology, lexicology, and semantic. And just to add a little bit more in our experience in the University Science Islam Malaysia, where from the beginning, from its inception in year 2000, the medium instruction have been in either in English or in Arabic. The Arabic is used in all programs that are Islamic studies based, for example, in Sharia, in the Da'wah, in the study of Quran and Sunnah, in Sharia and so on. Arabic is used. And in other subjects, like in economics, science, technology, in the faculty of medicine, in dentistry, the language instruction used is English. And the reason is that this is the departure from the national education policy, where other public universities use Malay as medium instruction at the lower, at the baccalaureate level. But in USIM, we are allowed to use Arabic and English. And the main justification is that in Islamic studies as conjured or defined in a broader context, the major references are in Arabic. Therefore, students have to be very proficient, otherwise they will not be able to do research, to understand the text. In other subjects, in economics, the muamalat component in Arabic, in economics, science, technology, and so on, the language use is English because the major references are in English. And we are still persisting in this one. Okay. That's all. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dato' Haji Muhammad Al-Ilyas, for his very useful presentations. So now, I would like to invite the second presenter, Professor Dr. Brahima Kaba, is going to talk about the contributions of Islamic education in non-Arabic speaking and Muslim minority society. Please, could we welcome Professor Dr. Brahima?
Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum Muslim Jamaat. I first would like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the College of Islamic Studies for inviting us to present this paper at this important conference, the second Islamic conference on education. Before I present my paper, I wish to introduce Liberia, because Liberia shares a lot in common with this part of Thailand. Liberia is a West African country on the Atlantic Ocean. 45,000 square miles, 3.5 million inhabitants. About 30% of the population is Muslim. It is therefore a Muslim minority country within a context of a West Africa region which is predominantly Islamic. The Muslims are very prominent in business, transport, and agriculture. But they play a minor role in politics. However, over the past 20 years, Muslims have made significant progress, especially in education. This has translated in some improvement of their role in politics. Currently, we have 15 Muslim legislatures out of 100. 4 cabinet ministers out of 22. 2 regional governors out of 15. 1 Supreme Court judge out of 5. And Muslims represent 20% of the population of higher education in Liberia. Liberia is about 1,500 kilometers of Nigeria, 3,500 kilometers southeast of Sudan. That gives an idea of where it is located. Now, the theme of the conference is to have some understanding of the educational system in the Muslim world, especially where Muslims are minorities and the language is other than Arabic. We will also report on the experience of an Islamic educational institution in a developing African countries. In Liberia, Islamic education was developed through the work of Islamic organization, not the state, not the government. It was the initiative of private Islamic organization which took upon themselves to establish Islamic educational system to cater to the needs of the Islamic population in terms of providing education to their children. One of such organizations was the Muslim Congress of Liberia. We want to share some of the experiences of that organization in setting up and providing unique Islamic education to the Muslim population in the country. Please allow me to note at this time that during the initial stage of the development of Islamic education in Liberia, one of our current faculty member, in the very person of Dr. Abdullahi Kaba, was one of our first students. One of the first students of Islamic education in Liberia was Abdullahi Kaba, who is today serving this Augusta University. Dr. Kaba is therefore a proud product of one of the Islamic institutions and programs of learning in Liberia. What is Islamic education according to the Liberian context? It is the same as it is applied here in Patani or anywhere else in the Islamic world. Education for the Liberian Muslims is understood to be one which should be based on Islamic values. For those values, education is not limited to knowing, to write, read, speak, or just to have an employment. It goes beyond all of those skills and must equip the individual so that he can be a meaningful contributor to his society, so that his inner potential could be developed for the benefit of himself and mankind. Education, therefore, must be seen as the development of the individual so that he could first contribute to the development of his society, help build his opinion, develop the individual ability to present his point of views, his perspective, and to argue those views in a coherent and systematic manner. Education also, very importantly, must give the individual the needed training in career so that he could be able to make meaningful contribution to his community and his society. In the context of Liberia, Islamic education was conceived as a way of preparing the individual Islamically so that he could be able to function in his society to benefit himself and his community. In doing so, the programs of instructions of the Congress in Liberia was modeled such that it could encompass both Islamic values and the secular values. Islamic education and job marketability. The curriculum that was developed for the Islamic studies in Liberia were formulated with an eye on marketability and job attraction, a policy that links and matches between the national systems of education and the job markets. This view will lead Islamic high schools and higher institutions of learning to set their programs of study that match and have direct link with the demands of the job markets of the country. In the case of a country like Thailand, you can see that if the university and the institution of learning, in Islamic institution of learning, do not provide opportunities for job creation or for job trainings for their children, the parents and the students will not prefer to go to those institutions of learning. In today's rapidly and changing globalizing economy, most universities and colleges must offer programs of study that prepare their students for job and career. However, it seems that in many departments of Islamic studies around the world, particularly in places like Thailand and Patani, specifically, the Islamic studies departments have little to do with career and skill preparation for their students. As a result, they may suffer a decrease in the intake of students. As a matter of fact, they might experience a flight of students from their departments. In most departments of Islamic studies identify in Thailand and in many African countries, 5 fields of studies have been emphasized as the focus of those departments. They are Sharia, law, the fundamental of religion, Dawah, and Adat, the literature. As fundamental and important as these subjects are, they fall short of providing and equipping the students with the kinds of skill and career that will allow them to sustain their life in the contemporary world. However, in universities where Islamic studies have integrated career development and career training, students become more attracted and more attractive in the job market than even non-Islamic students, non-Muslim students. In conclusion, according to both Islamic School of Thought, Islamic studies are divine command and compulsory for all Muslims. However, in a changing, rapidly changing world, we must make sure that we combine the fundamental of Islamic studies with the requirement of the modern world for career development and career equipment. These are some of the examples that we wanted to share with you today in terms of the importance of career development and job preparation for our students in Islamic studies at our departments and universities. I wish to thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Brahim Kaba. So in these sessions, there are 2 important points have been highlighted by the presenters. The first one is about the importance of Arabic language to Islamic studies, how to improve the Islamic Arabic language for the students of Islamic studies so they can acquire the knowledge of Islamic studies and also contribute to the Muslim Ummah at large. The second one is about the contributions of students, of the graduates of Islamic studies to the community in the case of Liberia in Africa. I hope you enjoy the presentations. And now I would open the floor for the questions and answers. Unfortunately, I would allow only 2 questions due to the time constraints of the sessions. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ram Yi. I am Arabic teacher at secondary school in Yala. According to your presentation, this question goes to Professor Dato Dr. Muhammad Haji Ilyas. Related to Arabic language, I used to try many times to improve my students' Arabic language proficiency, and I use many methods of teaching, both in a classroom and outside classroom, but I found that it's very difficult to improve Arabic language if we compare with English language. So I want to ask you what is the effective method to teach Arabic language? Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ustaz, for the question. I'm going to answer this question based on experience, observation, and also from tips from friends that I have, or ustads that I have met. For example, one instance, I met Mufti of Australia. I asked Saibul Samaha, how can I improve my ability in my proficiency in Arabic? Okay. كيف أتحسن قدرتي باللغة العربية? His answer was, talk to us. Talk to us. He originated from Palestine. So it means talk to Arabs, Arab-speaking individuals. And the other one, read the Quran very loudly. Tips from other from my teachers or my lecturers in Arabic: don't be shy, don't be afraid to use the language, don't be afraid to practice. Okay, and another advice given is that we have to, in some way, trying to develop the bi'ah, the environment, using Arabic in the situation that you are in universities, in classroom, and so on. Okay. What's been observed is that students in situation where the teacher-centered, so they just take notes, listen, okay. But the teacher has to, in a way, force the students to practice the language, ask questions, not just in class, but outside the class. Experience in the Ma'had Al-Junaid in Singapore, we noticed that the students are very good in English, so we asked, how is that? So they said, they have to use, they're being forced to use the language outside the class, in And every week they have to, the students take turn to present kitabah or what do you call that, speech in Arabic to all the students. Thank you very much.
Is there any other questions? All right. Please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Yes, my question is that I really want to know that if we have to study only Islamic studies and just limit that on that, and this will be enough for our careers or our life, or we have to associate different fields or different careers in order to be our future more better. Because in Africa, we really know that many Islamic students has graduated from Saudi Arabia, many of them, and they have good careers of Islamic understanding, but yet now they have no job and they have not been associated with the government, or they have no chance. They just have to become imam or anything, but they have no chance to join the government or do anything extra, but they just have to be imam. So is it enough for us to just limit on Islamic studies, or we have to associate different careers? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, I think this is a very pertinent question. The theme of this conference is a changing world, challenges and potentials. The world is changing very rapidly, and those changes involve the establishment and the construction of new models of war, new cities, new infrastructure, new information technology. All those areas are in scientific and technological areas, which unfortunately seem to be absent in most curriculum of Islamic studies departments that are attended by students, mostly from developing countries, and especially from Africa. When they graduate and they come, they are not equipped with these new careers and skills in scientific knowledge, making them capable to be the engineer and the IT experts and other areas of infrastructural development. They cannot have the jobs that are available. And those jobs will be made available to those individuals who have acquired those skills and those trainings. And most of these are non-Muslims in our developing countries. Therefore, the Muslims, students who have graduated with very significant, important, relevant Islamic education, but lack the appropriate skills to function in a modern society, will not have the jobs and then are left behind. And as you may know, there is a positive relationship between the person's level of skill and his or her life chances. Because they don't have appropriate skills, their life chances are reduced significantly. That's why we urge Islamic studies centers and programs to include those scientific and technological areas in their curriculum so as to make the Islamic students, center students, the best graduates of any institution anywhere, because they will be equipped with not only the Islamic values, which are the best values that we have, but with the skills that are necessary to function in a modern world. So this is the reason why our experience in Liberia can be a model that we can share with all Islamic studies centers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Brahima. So from these sessions, as I told you before, that the student of Islamic studies should be able to acquire the Arabic language skills so that they can improve themselves, improve their skills in the language, and acquire the knowledge of Islamic studies, whether it's in the context or in the contents or in applied sites. And also, we hope that the graduate of Islamic studies should be able to not only gain the jobs in the various fields, but also they can contribute to the betterment, to the well-being of Muslim Ummah and humankind. So we are at the end of the sessions. I would like to thank our two presenters, Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad bin Ali Ilyas and Professor Dr. Brahima Kaba from Liberia. And of course, I would like to thank all the participants in this hall for their attentions, patience, and contributions. Jazakumullahu khaira. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.